Mike Pence. The month of April for Mike Pence. I got heartbreak in the live stream. I did a live stream for 7 hours, and we did Mike Pence and Donald Trump's April. I will try to leave a link in the description if I remember to do so. But I got the heartbreak card for him. We couldn't quite understand who he was heartbroken for. But we'll see. Mike Pence. Picking cards is hard when you have no fingernails. Michael Pence, 3 of Cups. There is a celebration. Eight of Pentacles. It does involve work. So in the month of April, there is a reason to celebrate for you around work. Now, I try to remain so optimistic when it comes to these two because I don't want to say Trump's going to be impeached and, you know, we all start going out and taking loans out to buy champagne. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, though, is the spirit is kind of there is a meeting of the minds between Mike Pence and someone else. What I get when I pick up the card is something else. As in, he got a new job. Keep it, oh, the Tower. Queen of Pentacles. An earth sign woman or a woman of stability. The King of Swords. Oh, Lord. I can't get the card off the table, Jesus. Help me, Jesus, get the card off the table. I think Mike Pence is an air sign, too. I think he's an Aquarius. Or something, I don't know. But an air sign man is going to meet the Tower in April. That's an ending. It's an unexpected ending. But it's not a good ending. So it's not like I'm running a 10K and, oh, I didn't realize I finished. Yay, me. No, this is more like you're running a 10K and your legs fell off. Surprise ending. And your fear is the burden. Last time your fear was the heartbreak. Now it's the burden. What's in your hopes? Triumph. Victory. And you're in, ooh. Ooh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. These cards play too much, I swear. Okay, so I know for sure now. This is my absolute for sure. I don't pick decks by mistake. Let's be the devil's advocate, judge, jury, executioner, best friend, Facebook buddy, and go through this and look at just these two cards, just these two, okay? So the King of Swords, Donald Trump's a Gemini, but we can say if it's Mike Pence too, whoever. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Donald Trump. So he's got a sword. Look at the sword. Can you see the sword? This is not the clearest, but look at the sword. And he's got a crown. There's his sword. There's his crown. There's his sword. There's his crown. Sword, crown, crown, sword, sword, crown, crown, sword. That person meets the tower. An unexpected end. His legs fell off. Michael Pence's fear is the burden, the overwhelming responsibility. In his hopes is that sword and that crown. He met the tower and it all fell off. Michael Pence picked it all up. Sword, crown. Sword, crown. Crown, sword. Sword, crown. Crown, sword. In his hopes. Now, in his environment, the way things used to be, with the Six of Cups, that's the nostalgia, sometimes stuck in the past. But the nostalgia, the innocence of it all, I am pure, I am light. He is Pence. Behind him, in the foreground, not foreground, background, is the Chariot. Self-discipline. Moving forward. Let's not forget, he was a governor, so he does know governance. He wasn't a good governor, but he knows how an office is supposed to run. So there is some self-discipline. If he gets the crown and the sword. They're in this picture too. The crown's a little different now because it's his. There's the crown, there's the sword. Crown, sword. Sword, crown. So he's got it. That's what's going on in the background of his nostalgia, of his innocence. His word of warning. You got the crown, you got the sword, but you also have the spotlight. I keep saying, it's one thing to say, Paul Manafort brought him in, so he must be guilty of something, and it's another to shine light on it. This is not the sun, this is the moon. I always say the sun shines on the moon and the moon shines in the darkness. The moon does not emit light, it reflects light. So we see the outline of his nefarious deeds. We do not see the full picture. We know there's something there, but we can't quite make it out. There's also a face in this moon in this card, so there is something that is looking into this, but it's just not very strong yet. Your word of solace, the magician. You will be able to possess the skills in April. Let me change my outlook. Wait a minute. Because I'm talking to him like he's the president. Shh. Change the outlook. I'm doing a general April reading, not, hey, Pence, you got the job reading. So let's change the outlook. In April, something in the past, you do have self-discipline to do whatever you need to do with that. This is your word of solace. You can survive April because you have the skills to do so, the skills and the means to do so. But in the end, this is your outcome card. The institutions do seem to shun you as well. This could mean that you are implicated in something, or you are looked at in some kind of way because the institutions, this is always reminds me of a church. This is why I use this for my disease card, is the institutions that are supposed to take you in and make you better have thrown you out because you have some sort of on you. So you are shunned and thrown out for some reason. So, what else? The strength card. Power, authority, strength. The Four of Pentacles. There is a afraid to lose, sometimes a resistant to change. You're not the best person when it comes to change. The Seven of Pentacles, there is a waiting and a patience. It's also a watching too. You watch it fold. Here's the inside man. This is also the delayed and disappointing news. So I'm going to go with delayed and disappointing because there's an afraid or being afraid to lose, a resistant to change. So you are clinging to something. There is the patience and the waiting, and then there's the delayed news. So there is something coming down the pike that you are waiting on. You may see this, you may be even clairvoyant, but you may see this before the rest of us do. The Ace of Cups, it does involve a new something, a new emotional interest of some sort. The Hierophant, this is morals and government. The Nine of Pentacles, security. The Five of Swords, a win at all cost. A Page of Wands, that is news. Donald also got that. The Ace of Pentacles, a new investment of some sort. The King of Pentacles, a money man. The Four of Wands, that would be the White House. The Eight of Wands, a quick transition, rapid, speedy. The Knight of Pentacles, this is more slow, reliable, methodical. Three of Wands, that's the plan off the ground. That's sort of looking out also on the horizon, seeing what's coming in, like your patience card. Eight of Cups, walking away from something unfinished. The Lover's card, there is a bond and ideals being aligned. So, Michael Penitentiary, what do we have? Let us take a look, shall we? Michaelness. Ness of the Michael. We have clinging, Four of Pentacles. You have the patience. That's also could be clinging to money. You don't have the most, but you still have to have lawyers. So there isn't afraid, I always say afraid to lose. There is disappointing and delayed news. It is a relationship of some sort, but this is new. The Hierophant. Your morals, your ideas surrounding your security. Money. Win at all cost. This is also a defeat, an empty win, and the Page of Wands. So there's news, and I think what may be going down is there's some money that you did come into that you did not come into fairly. I won't say illegally, but you didn't come into it fairly, because a win at all cost is not necessarily cheat to win. It could be, but not necessarily. It could just mean you deflated the balls of the other team. They picked up the balls, and instead of inflating them, because they had time to, they tried to play with those balls because they figured they were more skilled than you. So you do have a win. It's just an empty win because of the dirty, underhanded things that you did beforehand, which is still illegal. I think I'm just trying to be nice, but it's a win at all costs. So I think you came into some money some kind of way that you might want to take that money and put it under the mattress so no one finds it. There is the Ace of Pentacles. So you got this money from a moneyed man. There is another man there. I think you may have gotten it from Trump, because there is the White House and there is communication. So this is someone either you knows or he knows that said, hey, here's $11. Do something for me. And you did it. I said you were nefarious. I didn't say you were expensive. So there's the Knight of Pentacles. This person brings money. Person brings reliability. There is a plan that is off the ground already. It does cause some abandonment. And the Lover's card. I don't know if this is your wife or a position. But you leave something behind. And it's something that you were aligned with at one point. So this is not a great, I get to leave that behind because I don't want to do it anymore anyway. No, this is something you were invested in, even emotionally invested in, that you now have to leave behind. So let's go back here. A celebration around work of some sort. It's always a good thing. There's some, here we go. Here we go. Got cards everywhere. There is a alignment of some sort. You and the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe that's not your wife, because maybe you are aligned with her. So things are good on that front. They were not at first, but they're better now. The King of Swords does meet an end in an unexpected way, in some kind of way. And the fear for you is burden. You do fear being weighed down. You do fear not being able to move. This is also like a hard work card, because even though all of the wands are on his back, he does still continue to toil. In your hopes is victory, triumph, and the sword and the crown. In your environment is some things from the past that do come up. So you are having to deal with the past. You probably are stuck in it because, let's say, devil's advocate and Facebook buddy, you are president of the United States. Everything you've ever done, ever said, ever eaten is going to come back up into the news because now you are the person of interest, even though Donald will be going through the whole media blitz of being impeached, not impeached, but resigning and all of that. Even though all of that is going on, the spotlight is still on you and you still have to answer for your religious freedoms bill and all that other garbage you did in Indiana. But you are a self-disciplined person. Well, like him, love him, hate him, or leave him. He is a self-disciplined person. He does have poise. He does have control over his emotion. He's not a screamer. So he does have a way to carry himself. So there's your Chariot. I'm not saying he's the best person in the world, but he is calm. I will say that. Your word of warning, however, young man, is be careful of your secrets. That is which is in the shadows for you, because I don't know where the strength card was, so we'll just ignore it. Whatever's in the shadows for you is there, and it is something shining on it, but you are not necessarily, it's not the sun. So we don't see it, but we know it's there. I do believe you do have a Vladimir Putin connection. You did one out early on in the administration, but they were going to try to kill you twice. That's a conspiracy theory, so you don't have to read into that. But Mike Pence's plane had awful landings 3 times in a row. They shook you up. Now you fell in line. That's a conspiracy theory. That is not something that has been proven. So there's something shining down on you because you did fall in line. There is some skills. That's your word of solace. This is something you can cling to. It is something to comfort you. You are not inept at running an office. You are not a stranger on the world stage. People do know who you are. So you do have skills and means. If called upon, you could do the job. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is going to be resigning in April. But if he does, the sword and the crown is yours, and you do know what to do with it. Nothing that the Democrats want you to do with it, but you do know what to do. The 5 of Pentacles. This is the card that is in your outcome. So you might want to be aware that the powers that be may throw you out as well. Now, the 4 of Pentacles. There is a resistance to change around the government. So I think that there are some things that you can do that for whatever reason you refuse to do around money. Money and influence of money. So I think someone may call upon you to maybe pressure the president, if it's not you, to pressure the president to maybe take some looks at campaigns, finance violations, and things like that. So there you go. There is the waiting, patiently waiting, security. So you are waiting on some money news involving the King of Pentacles. This has something to do with plans overseas. If you're caught up in that, then that's why you got that Moon card. So there is the Page of Swords. There's some disappointing news coming down the pike. It is a bit of a defeat, but it is also news about how you won something. There's the White House. It may be about how you won that. It could be some news on the cheating front, which could throw both of you out at the same time. Because there is an unfinished project and a walking away, and I got that for the both of you. So that might also be reason why you got this. The institutions are shunning you, but you do have what it takes to handle yourself. But If something like that comes out, then the both of you are gone at the same time. If both of you are illegitimate. But I don't foresee anything like that happening. I'm just saying that that's what that could indicate. Because you do have disappointing news and you do have to walk away from something. It does involve the White House. It could just be a project. Both of you may have to walk away from that wall. Because this is sort of a win at all costs on the wall too, because he is willing to take money from the military just to build that wall. So that could be the project that the both of you have to walk away from. The Ace of Cups. There is a new person in y'all's life. Bringing news. Usually of the good variety. It is communication. So this looks like it's over the phone. About someone that you care about. So I don't know if he has children. Maybe they're about to have, but this is not the Empress. But maybe one of them is getting married or one of them is going to have a baby or something like that. Mind you, this is just his general April reading. It doesn't always have to be political, but something in your life personally is going on. A relationship, a person of interest, a person of emotional interest does have some news for you involving a loved one. So they could be getting engaged or married, or you could be renewing a vow. Something of that nature. So Michael Pence. That's what your April looking like, girl. Here's to May, right?